Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Robert Roy. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you would please go ahead and type the number 1 in the questions box to let me know that you can. I would truly appreciate it. Teresa, how you doing? Morning, Helen. I do appreciate the participation. How you doing, Robert? Guess we're going to see you in a couple of weeks in Florida, huh? Beautiful. All right. Fantastic. Well, I do appreciate the participation there. Get us started here today. Let's see. Coming up, Trading You is tomorrow night, mañana, October 30th, guys. There are still people enrolling in it, so if you've not yet done so, you still do have time. All of the previous workshops are recorded for you. And then next Monster Market Movers coming up on November 14th. Of course, Power Hour, we're here. If you want to know more about Trading You, go and watch the So You Want to Be a Trader. It's on the TV page, which anywhere on the website, the orange button in the upper right-hand corner. Coming up on location is Whistle Stop. Amelia just sent me an email this morning. I was talking with her before. We never got a chance to get to that. There's only a handful of spots left in it, guys. We're packing it out. So if you have an interest in it on November 17th, you need to let us know, because we're going to market to or offer it to another group of students outside of here. But I don't want to do that yet until I give everybody here the opportunity to do so. So we'll probably send one more email out on this. And after that, we'll keep letting you know if it's available. But after that, we are going to start offering it to some others as well. But you guys do come first. All right. So here is the follow us page. We are building a nice presence on our various social media platforms. Please, 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 if you would, and you haven't done so already, help us out and go ahead and subscribe to all of them if you would be fantastic. All right. With that being said, let's go ahead and see what in God's great earth is going on today. It's up, it's down. It's up, it's down. We just can't seem to decide what we want to be when we grow up. Right? Let's see. Let's get some of these things out of here. Let's see. Let me get rid of this. Make sure we got the right zoom. We will save it. There we go. All right. Okay. So I want to go look at the S&P 500 first. Right? And I just did an upgrade, so I did not do anything current session for today. Well, what was there wiped out because of the way I had to do the upgrade. But I didn't do anything recently today, so it's set back to yesterday's numbers. We'll go ahead and get it as of today and see what is going on. So here we are looking at the S&P 500, and today is 29th, right? So where are we? 1026. Still don't have it. Let's see. Let's try something else. All right, so we're still looking at, well, that's weird. Why does it show me it's 10:30, which is tomorrow? Oh, never mind. It's showing us all the way down here. Gee, that doesn't look right, does it? Let's go take a look at Trade Navigator for a second. I mean, at Trade Station. 2673 is what I'm showing on SPX. It looks like we got some bad data in there, and it might have had something to do with the upgrade that I did this morning. Let's see. Let's try to update again. And see what happens in there. But guys, there are some critical levels, and actually that would be it. That's why it looks so weird there with where it was. That would be it. That rectangle right there is the scary zone. We've got this 2600 down to 69. In between there, there's 4 lines in total in that range. Right, we got that 2584 in there, William. Exactly. I mean, all of those key levels. There's 4 of them there, 4 key areas in there. Let's see. DJI, I mix up 2 different platforms together. So on the Dow, it's showing 24,935-ish. 24,765. So we definitely have some differences in our numbers. I wonder what happens with stocks. Let's see. Hopefully it didn't mess me up on stocks. So Apple, 217.40-ish. Let's see. 216. So, well, I mean, it looks like it's running about a half an hour behind on the stocks, but we'll rock and see what it does. But guys, this level, this range, this zone on the S&P is a critical area. I think of support is what we're going to see. And right now it looks like we've got just a little more of a bounce than it's showing us there, right? So we had a nice strong move up and continued up. So a good gap in there, continued up and has failed. And see, the gap is tough, guys. And what I mean by that is, oh, wait a second, you guys aren't seeing my screen? Why not? Who's asking that there? Jesse, you should be able to see it because I see it. And what I mean by that is I have a duplicate monitor open of seeing it. Guys, just give me a 1 if you could see my screen. Let's just make sure it's not just Jesse. Okay, beautiful. Appreciate it. Good. Thank you. Yeah, I see Amelia's jumping in to help you out there. Morning, Robbie. Yep, TradeStation, William, exactly. That's what we're looking at right now is TradeStation. But you see the gap here on the S&P 500 this morning on the 5-minute chart, and you look at it like, wow, awesome, the S&P is up today. See, what you miss out on or might not see is you need to start looking at what the futures are doing at the same time. So as an example, if we go to 9:30 this morning, let me zoom in a little bit. Let me go grab a vertical line. Let's see, this is 9:30-ish. I'll move it around. Actually, I nailed it, baby, right there. So you can see we'd already had a nice move up on the S&P, and we had some pullback already taking place on the S&P, right? So the markets were already moving down. We had a short move to the upside, and then we've had nothing but failure ever since and have gotten below that 930 price point on the futures on the ES. Right now, we haven't filled our gap here yet today. That's where the gap open was from. I'm more worried about the top of the body than I am about the bottom, but we're getting pretty darn close. So somewhere between, oh my goodness, I do not like that number, 2666, 2666, wowzer. Not a fan, baby, not a fan. Actually, let's do it with a rectangle instead of with another horizontal line. Somewhere in here, which is the body of Friday, the open to the close, because the gap is the gap. It's from where it closed is the gap. But I'm looking at it as just getting down to that 2666. But the bottom is 2660, we'll call it, right? So it's about a 6-point move in there. On what, Robbie? Explain it on what? So we're looking for that level to see if we get any kind of bounce. Now we're in the lulls, and it's funny. We just got in, although I didn't know what we were going to get until we got them in over the weekend, and I got back in my office Saturday night. But we just got in the trading clocks, so we'll be sending those out to you guys. Hopefully within a week we'll get them out. I had to order boxes because the packaging they came in was commercial packaging. They weren't individual. They are, but the boxes are more of a gift box than they are a shipping box. So I ordered new boxes. They will be in. We'll get the ones that are on order, get those shipped out as quickly as possible to you guys. But I wrote up it's about 8 or 9 page document on using the clock, not just as a clock. Yeah, using a clock. This is what 8:30 is. This is what 10:30 is. I don't mean that. It's using the trading clock in your trading and actually using it to start identifying weaker and stronger periods in the market that you're just not buying a position, holding on to it, and it is what it is. Right? So in that clock, I talked about pullback periods. I talked about the so it's red, yellow, green, right? Green zones are the trading zones. Yellow are reversal periods. Red is the caution periods. It's the highest volatility. When I say highest volatility, you just don't know what it's going to do, right? It's the highest uncertainty is probably a better word for it. So I'm cleaning the document up on it now, but as we look at it, right, here we are at 12:13 in the afternoon. We're in lunchtime, right? If you look at the clock, it's a 12 to 2, 2:15 is I think where I drew it to, because it could be anywhere between 2 and 2:30, and I explained that in the document that we did. But could be anywhere between 2 and 2:30. Could be the lunchtime period. Right now we're in this pullback, in this lull. 11:30 is when European market starts to close up, right? So we had low move up. We're getting lower highs and lower lows, so we definitely have that trending down type pattern happening in there. It's not as strong of a market as people want you to think it is, right? If I go back here and just look at, forget about today because we know on trade now the data seems to be off for me here. If I look at the move down, move back up into such key areas there, right? We got this fib moved in there. We got just above the 8, got close to the 50 percentile on the fibs. We pulled back. We had this one quick day up in here, strong down. One quick day up, strong down. Today we seem to be back up again, right? So if we look at yesterday or Friday's close, what was Friday's close? That puts us, right, 26th. That puts us at 27.21 is where the ADMA is right now. Was on Friday. So 27.21. Let's go back to TradeStation, and we're looking at. All right, so we're on the S&P here. Let's go to a daily chart, not a 5-minute though, and let's draw a horizontal line at 27.21. Let's see, 23, 21, half, there we go, close enough. All right, so this is where the moving average was on yesterday, right, on Friday, okay, on that closing price, okay, right there. Right, we get that out of there, and the last day on the chart is Friday. Gotta be careful, it's too easy to, see, it's too easy to shift. So on this day, you see 21, let me bring it up a little bit. In pink towards the bottom, average EXP 27.21. That's where I have that intersection line drawn there, right? And what that line shows us is where our resistance is overhead. Right now, the move back up, let me rephrase that. The moving average itself is doing just that. It's moving. Market's going up, market's going down. The pink line today is going to continue to go up and down based on what the price does, right? You could see the moving average was up higher from where it closed on Friday to where it is right now. It was up higher throughout the course of the day, but it doesn't really matter where it was or where it is or isn't. It means nothing on a daily chart until it closes on a daily chart. So we look at Friday's moving average number before we try to capitalize on that, try to utilize that in our decision-making process. But no matter what, guys, if you look at this on a big picture like this, we are in severe weakness at this point, and that 2600 to 2580-ish range are going to be critical. If we cannot hold that, right, I think the pain and suffering can become not the 10% we've had, but more like 20% as far as the pullbacks in the market. I think we could easily see a 20% move down. Still not the move I'm expecting, and I don't believe we're at that move yet. We could be, but the bigger picture signs are not showing me that as of this point, right? Okay. So Amelia, if you could take a look at Ravi's question and see if you could try to answer that for him, that would be great. I would appreciate it. Okay, so I want to go back to TradeNav, and let me just close this up a little bit for now, make it a little bigger. Now, I'm going to run the recalculations in the background. It'll take a little bit longer on Trade Nav, but let me see if I set it up to recalculate if it actually changes price on there or not. So if we go to SPY, SPY is looking more like it should than what SPX did. All right. Well, we'll figure it out. Where are we at? Okay, so guys, when we look at what's gone on in the market today, let me fix this. All right, for the most part, I'm just going to sort by the change. Right. So Amazon down another $70 today. Amazon has been a wonderful trade today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You definitely need to give the trading gods kudos for this one, guys, because it has been just an awesome trade. If you look at it from a daily standpoint, Friday was a great move down, right? And so was today, or is today, down another 70 points. And when Amazon gets down to 1,200, it'll still be overvalued, right? Hopefully, we're going to start to see some of these big priced stocks get back in line numbers wise. You check Amazon's PE, it's 170 or something. Way, way, way too high, right? So Amazon was our biggest mover down. We had some others, Google down 20 bucks, Netflix down, $14. Not a big deal. Booking is up 45 bucks. CMG is up 10. Right? Tesla, well, they've given some back, haven't they? Oh yeah, they sure have. Look at this. Tesla was all the way up here at 348, and right now it's at 333. So about 15 points down. And are we filling in that gap? We're getting pretty darn close to filling that gap in right there. All right. So 149 now, Robert. Yeah, we looked at it in the workshop I did last week. I think Amazon, Robert was saying Amazon's PE is 149.09. We looked at it last week. It was like 172, 178. I forget exactly, but on Thinkorswim was the number we got. But the moves down are definitely going to affect that price for sure. But they're still high, right? Anything over a 40, 20 to 40 is fair valued. Anything over 40 is overvalued, right? So makes it a little bit tougher. Now, as a trader, I don't care as much, but I still think price is way overvalued on an Amazon, right? So Tesla has given back a lot of what it had, guys. This is actually interesting because let's go back and look at S&P again because all right, so we haven't filled in, but we're at lunchtime. That whole move down has been interesting. And guys, the gap up, you got to remember, you cannot count on that gap up as being gospel because the market is up. Because of the ES, the S&P 500 was up all night long. That's what caused the gap. That doesn't mean that we didn't make it to a high as an example of here. And by the time the market opens up, it's here, but it closed here. Yes, it's still higher than it was on Friday's close, right? If that bottom line to the left, if this was the close, this was the open, right? And this is where it is. Actually, no, I said this was the open, right? That was just a high. And that was the high, right? It pushed all the way up there and fell back. It still looks like it's up for the day, but not when it gave back 3/4 of the move back to the downside already from where it was. Right, so that's definitely something to be cognizant of, to be concerned with, to know, to understand, to be able to see, to make sure you're not on the wrong side. And look, here we go. S&P is making a massive, massive, massive push to the downside right now. And I would like to have caught. I would like to have caught the YM a few minutes ago, but we've had a 60-point drop in this 5-minute candle. How are we doing, Jose? Good afternoon to you. All right. So enjoying the ride. There you go, Jose. That's it. Just enjoying the ride. All right. Definitely a scalper's day. Guys, if you see right here, this is a paper trade that I put on 2 weeks ago, and I put it on for the trading you, right? To use it to show order types, how to, with the OCOs and things like that. I had to have a position in place. We were up $456 on this position today. It's the stock, not an option. It's the stock on AMBA, and now we're up $40, and it's continuing to drop. It was just 65 as I started to say this. It's up $40 right now, right? So we're up today. Everybody should start buying stocks is absolutely nuts. We are not done going down. 2,600, 2,584. Before that point, I would be very cautious until you get back to that level, and then we'll decide from there what happens next. I can't tell you is it going up or down from that point. I'm not 100% sure, okay? But we will check it out and see as we get closer. And I think yesterday I spent 15 or 20 minutes yesterday in power option plays just going over the S&P and those levels and the keys and why they're there and redrawing the fibs and all of that good stuff. So, all right, guys, give me some candidates you want us to check out today. Let's take a look. Let's see what stocks we want to pull up. Trip's not here today, Robert. Trip's gone. I think he's on vacation this week. I remember him saying something last week. So, but we will look at TLRY. Right. So we're back down at the bottom of its support area. Whew. Okay. We're back down at the bottom of its support area. So, yowzer. Where are we? Yeah, I can't tell because it. Let's see. We have about $19 a day move, so it's almost $40, right? So we're looking at 42, and yeah, we definitely need a Fibit in here. So let's add this in. So Robert's, yeah, so for some reason, I don't know why I did this upgrade. And again, it's the test, right? This is the new library, and it looks like one of the library functions are causing an error in there. So let me try. So let's see what happens again. Maybe I can disable that function. All right, so it's saying that there's not a. See what happens when we do an intraday. It's saying there's not a data to download. All right, value chart high. So let's see. Let's try it again. Let's see if that actually allows it to work. Let's see. Because I've got all my fibs drawn on here. I really would rather not. So I know Robert's saying we were down to about 95.5 right now. So we're down a little bit lower. And again, it could be the 20-minute delay. But we're looking at 69.5 and 42 are the downside. All right, so it looks like criteria is working. So those two criteria that I disabled are causing a little bit of an issue. That, by the way, is part of the an advanced is more of an advanced indicator set, not part of the regular one that we're going to be adding. But Robert, it looks like the marijuana stocks were just the Bitcoin, right? Just that big hoorah and that pullback, and there's still so much. What's the word? There's so much uncertainty. Are we going to approve putting the cash in the bank? Are we not? Are we moving more towards a conglomerate type system? I've had a friend of mine who lives in a state that it has been legalized in, and said that all it seems to have done is gone from gangs controlling it to gangs owning the stores, right? Just legalizing that money, or laundering the money, washing the money, whatever you call it. So where is it all going to wind up? Where is it going to settle out? Not sure. So Robert, there we go. Looks like we're closer to where the price is. It's showing 95.59 now. Is our price on it, but down $12 for the day. Wow, amazing. All right, let's go look at MU in thought of Trip, as you typed his name in there. So let's see. All right, so MU's got a very big fib in there. It goes back to the beginning of the year, January, February or so. But we have now violated in the last week, we violated through that 882. So that was on Monday. Monday's close violated it. So we need to redraw fibs on here, right? We need more of that bearish fib. The problem is I have nothing more than these stair steps all over the place in here. It looks like the biggest directional move we take this here. That seems to be the biggest directional move for right now, is right there. But we're already at the negative 382 at this point. So stair steps, this type of market, it makes it more complex to get a great fib. Still get some good ones, but they're based in Canada, TLRY. But they have some of the same regulations there that we do. I don't know what their laws have been recently, but I know I know before the THC oils became as popular as they are, there was a guy in Canada that I followed for a very long time, that he was actually extracting the oils himself. He had like a still built in his backyard, and you had to be far enough away from the house because it could explode and all this great stuff. But he was extracting the oils out of marijuana itself, and he was using it to help cure people with very aggressive cancers. Right, and the government stepped in and shut them down and arrested them and all that great stuff. But so I don't know what their laws have done compared to ours. Listen, don't get me wrong. I think it should be legal, period. I mean, make it legal and get us out of the debt that we're in as a nation. Make it legal to put the money in the bank, tax the hell out of it, just like it's marijuana. I'm sorry, it is marijuana. Duh. I mean, just like it's tobacco. Tax it. Oh, no. Yeah. William, do you know who owns the patent on THC? Do any of you know who owns the patent on THC? Yeah. Robert said, feel bad for those of you that bought TLRY at 270 and 300. Amen, Robert. I agree. There is a patent, Greg. Yeah. Cheech and Chong. No, it's not Cheech or Chong. It's not FDA, Patty. Actually, the United States government owns the patent on THC. And why has it not been released and we start to produce it? Well, what about all the drug manufacturers who the politicians are in their pockets because of the lobbyists and all the money's being paid and all the campaigns being supported and all of the, hey, I gave you money, so guess what? You need to do what I ask you to now. The US government owns the cure to cancer and will not release it. The stuff that people are producing in bottles now, my daughter bought it for one of our dogs to try to help her. She's a very nervous dog. She's abused, was abused. We got her as a rescue. She was down in South Carolina, beat senseless as a puppy, and thrown out in the street. They found the guy, they arrested the guy, they took the dog and all this great stuff. But we got it for her, and come to find out it's only 5% THC. It's not really like you're getting THC oil in there. Patent infringement challenges, one way to control it. Yeah, I hear you, Robert. It's just, it's a tough place to be. It's a good product as far as I'm concerned. THC, we can definitely use more of it being approved, right? Yep, looks like S&P is still showing me in the wrong spot. So for S&P. All right, so we had, let's see, Telray, MU. So Jesse's asking for TWT. I think you mean TWTR, Jesse. I'm assuming you're asking for Twitter. She's whatever one that's selling on Amazon, Diane. I'm not sure which one exactly it is, but she bought it on Amazon. Now, the real oils that people are making in a lab are $500 for a bottle. The stuff she bought is $25 or $30. It's just nowhere near it. And I know the stuff from the labs. I know the stuff from the labs that is that $500 for the bottle, which is a month's supply, plus $500 plus, depending on how much you have to take. But I know that stuff. It's been proven in trials works. I know of somebody that had their son on it for autism who was having 20 and 30 seizures a day, put them on this oil and went to maybe having 1 or 2 a week. And then after they went through the trial and the company said, oh, this is awesome. It worked. Thank you so much. You're off the trial now. And, but you're welcome to buy it at $500 a month. Right. Which she couldn't afford. So her son went back to having 20 to 30 seizures a day now. So, yeah, I probably should stop because this is where I start to bash the government. And I probably want to back away from that right now. Yeah, exactly, William. There's just everything that's going on with it. Yeah, I know, Patty goes, keep on going. Yeah. I just got to be careful not to get on my high horse, guys. Everybody's got an opinion, and you're entitled to it. I have mine as well. Right? They're all like belly buttons. They're not worth anything, after about the first week or so. I get it. But so Twitter. All right, so it was Twitter that you were asking for. So we definitely need a redraw on Twitter. So we're going to draw Twitter's fib from this high down to this low in the gap, right? After the gap. Right after the gap, right? Earnings came out, not a big deal. Little gap up, but nothing crazy. But then again, it's a $31 stock. Big Brother's always listening, Robert. You know they are. NSA has got everything tapped. There ain't nothing that's sacred any longer. They can't use most of it, but there's nothing sacred. Here, I'll give you a great one. Does anybody watch, just one for yes, don't give me any zeros, one for yes. Does anybody watch the TV show called Bull? And while you're doing that, so Jose, that the earnings themselves gapped it up. Okay? That gap up put it back into bullish territory. The overall bearish pattern does concern me a little bit. We're looking at 34.81, but then more importantly than that 34.81 will be the recent high that we had, which is right in here, that 36.15. I wouldn't buy anything on it without a pullback to the 31, and I really would like to see at least the 8 get above the 55. So, guys, in the most recent, I think it was the most recent one, a TV show called Bull, there was a doctor that was being accused of killing somebody, and they said they found his DNA on the guy. And the guy has an alibi. He was with his wife and kids at home watching TV. And, going back and forth. Well, how did you get my DNA? Well, the government had sent his DNA to all of these different, these companies that will tell you where your background is from, right? That you're Italian, you're from this, you're from that. These genealogy type companies, right? Ancestry, thank you. You got it, William, genealogy, right? Ancestry type sites. And they sent the sample out to them saying, here's our DNA, tell me about it. And then one of the companies sent it back and said, oh, we have a duplicate sample. So then they got a warrant and got the DNA. And there was an argument of, is this legal or not? That's the type of steps the government is taking. Is it? And they said, well, deception is legal. Yes, to a criminal. They're not a criminal organization, Ancestry or whoever it would have been that did it. So I don't doubt for a second Big Brother is listening. And yes, come after me, please. What do you want me to tell you? What are you going to do? You know, just whatever. Whatever. It happens in real life. I'm sure the NSA is building a national database of people from there. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, so let's keep looking there. So there we are. Actually, Jesse, sorry, it was Jesse, not Jose. Jose had the next question in there on Twitter. Hopefully that was helpful, Jesse. Jose was asking, do we have a potential support around 2581 on the S&P? It's actually at 2584. It's from 2569 all the way up to 2600, but 2584 is the level. Is the level in there, Jose. That's the big one. How you doing, Rich? Googly. Let's look at Googly. And again, I really cannot rely on the number being accurate here. So let me go and take a quick look on TradeStation. So it looks like we're at 1057-ish, right? 62, yeah, that's close. I mean, it's right in the same ballpark. So we're looking at 1036 and 1019 as the downside targets. Today's move up. Hold on a second, please, 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 yes. Oh my goodness gracious, lordy, lordy, lordy. Was that? Okay, so here we are, right? Let me get today. Okay, so now my dogs do not like the people walking past my house. They're barking like crazy right now. So actually, let me just draw it here this way. It'll be easier. Well, maybe, maybe not. So anyway, we're looking at right now about 1099.03 is the moving average from yesterday, from Friday's close, right, on the 26th. So we stretched up today to a high of 1108. So we got above that 1100 level, came and pulled back. It gave us a clear entry into the trade because we had the, clear, we had to move down to that 1083 level from 1100. So $17 move down, and we've gone even further than that. So we would have taken this today in power option plays based on yesterday's notes. I'm reading it right off my tracking sheet from yesterday based on yesterday's notes. Guys, that one trade, if you did one contract on that today, you bought an option that expired this week for $15 or $18 if you bought one for this week, because we're going to be out of it today, and you're up whatever the dollar amount is, $10, $12, $15 on the stock. Nice move overall. Very, very, very nice move. So with that being said, Rich, I'm still looking at that 1036. Where F11 and 1019 as the two downside targets. I would not today, but I would love to see. I'd love to see a Google back at $700 or $800. I'd love to see an Amazon back at $1,200. I'd like to see Priceline back at $1,200 or $1,300. I don't believe any of these belong where they are. I think there's a lot of fluff and pie in the sky out there. But with that being said, and why do I want them there? Because they're buying opportunities at that point. They're all buying opportunities then. Long-term option trades. So we did MU. So William, are you asking me to look at? Oh, that was Telray. Never mind. I thought it said Tiny. AMA. Let's see. A lot of marijuana talk in there. Yeah, all I need is Jerry Garcia singing "Truckin'" in the background. It'd be awesome. Not usually what comes across my phone, my TV in the back when I'm listening to music. So let's see. Campaign for Liberty. There you go, William. Let's see. Okay, so William's saying it seems like everything looks accurate except for the S&P 500. All right, good to know, William. Thank you. Yeah, the people outside my house come for my DNA. No. There are two guys that sort of live on the block. Their house has been taken away from them by the town, and they come and sneak in it every day. Yeah, and that's it. That's exactly it. When we're at the 2000s bomb PEs. Now, there's still some great companies out there, guys. Companies like U.S. Steel that have PEs of 11. Yeah, that's it. Robert said all of a sudden trucking is going to show up on my radio because the NSA is listening in, and we'll show him. Watch. Still get in on what, Rich? So, I mean, right now, this part of the day, I would need some kind of pullback to that 1108 level. I mean, the 1008 level maybe on Google. It's just the move was made off of that 1100-ish level when the moving average was up there from Friday's close. We pulled back, maybe $2 down from there is where you're in that trade. I mean, guys, if this thing closes where it is, understand we're talking about getting in at 1098, 1097, probably about 1097-ish. I'd have to see what we got filled on today. 1097, and right now it's sitting at 1062. That's 35 points on 10 contracts. We're looking at $28,000, $30,000 today on Google. That one trade could pay for your whole year of power option plays. And the thing about it is we're getting them. We're getting more and more and more and more of these right now happening. And that's because of the market conditions. This fluctuation, we've got so much day trading stuff going on. Yeah, excellent, Rich. Good. Rich said, I'm going to get enrolled in it later. Yeah, there you go. I mean, it's some great stuff. And Rich, we're going to go in one of our training sessions in the mastermind group. We are going to go in depth into things like 4321, the benefits, how to trade them, how to set them up, and all that good stuff. Yeah, the day trading is a big part of it, William. It probably equates for about half of our profit for the year on day trading. So Rob said, so you would enter the 8-period moving average if Google traded lower than the 8-moving average from yesterday's close, Ravi. Exactly, from yesterday's close or Friday's close, right? So I would snap a line at that 1099 level on my intraday chart. Very clear, Ravi. It's clear as can possibly be. Watch. If I go over to Google, right? I go to Google and I find out what Friday's close was, and I would have done this this morning. I would have done this this morning before the market opened, right? And at 1099-ish, I'm going to be close. Okay, it's close enough. At 1099, I would have been looking for weakness at the moving average right there because that's the moving average from Friday's close. We pushed up to it. We broke out. We came back down, and now I'll start using techniques for like the 5-minute candles of we got down below our lowest moving average. We came back up and retested. We failed, right? So 1090-ish is the entry if you use that technique, and we're sitting at 1060. It's a $30 move to the downside. I get you, Rich. Feel you. Robbie, does that make more sense? So that 1099, that horizontal line that I just drew on there is Friday's closing moving average. We use Friday's moving average to work off of that because, Robbie, the moving average today is doing just that, moving. So how do you know if it's a good moving average or not? It's fluctuating all day long. I mean, if you look from a moving average perspective, what's happened today? We've been all the way from here to here with moving average on the 8. So what one is the right one? More of what, William? Talk to me. Help me understand what you want to see. In pop. Guys, when is, I still need to get it on on my documents. I don't have it. Amelia, when is the next Mastering the Trade? William saying 11.6. I know we made an adjustment to it at one time, William. I just want to make sure you may be 100% spot on. I just don't remember what it was. Ravi, give me, okay. So Ravi said, don't you also look for the fibs lower to see if it's enough move to enter the trade? Yes, November 6th. Okay, William, so you're right. There you go. So William, on November 6th, we don't have a whole lot of days left. Please, are you going to be at that? Okay, so I'm guessing by the way you wrote, I'm counting down the days. So William, if that would be a question that you would ask, I would spend, 10, 15, 20 minutes on it if we need it to go over the day trades. Did I put a recording up on the website for that already? For some reason, I thought I did something there. Let me see. Here we are. I don't even have the website open. Let's see. Let me pull this over here. That I am logged in. Power option plays, right? So day trading pop stocks. It's not poop, it's pop. Okay. So got it. Thank you, Amelia. Day trading pop stocks. Right. Both of them with day trading and clear and concise entry. Exactly. So William, take a look at that. All of you that are in power option plays, take a look at that before we get into class on the 6th. And I will go in depth again into the day trading component of it while we're there. I have no problem doing so whatsoever, right? So Ravi, what you're asking is you're talking about an entire system. Do I use fibs? When we day trade, the rule is clear and concise entry. Clear, is there enough room without obstruction to an existing support in this case, because we're moving down, right? So in this case, the support level is the 0 line, which is 1075. So yes, there's nothing blocking my way if we violate down below that 1100 level, right? The moving average level, okay? So there is enough movement. So there is a clear movement to it, right? Concise is, do we have the right entry? Well, today it pushed up, went just above the moving average from Friday's close. It came back below, yes, but we don't use the fib lines for our day trades. We let it go to the end of the day so everybody gets out at the same price. Now, if I were trading it and managing it and I had 10 contracts, there's no question that I would have been out at about 1084. I would have been out of half my trade. I would have popped it off the market like in a heartbeat. But we don't trade it that way here. We let them go because everybody has to have the same exact rule to get out, or else now it becomes Rob is a better trader than me, so of course he did better than I. Nope, doesn't work that way. We let it go until the close, and we close out on the exit. Not now, I can't, Robbie. Robbie, I will. Robbie, you are in power option plays, correct? So I will do that, and understand, guys, listen, I give a lot of content here for free. I do. But it is not fair to those that are paying what they do and Robbie is one of them, by the way. He's in power option plays. It's not fair to those that are subscribed that we just teach everything we do here in that class. So I do ask that if you are interested, and hopefully you are, you guys come into power option plays. Listen, get the mastering the trade type stuff we do free. You're not paying $297 each time we do one. It's included in the power option plays. So, I mean, I'm happy to talk market, no question. But some of that secret sauce type stuff, we're going to reserve for that. No, and no pun intended when I talk about secret sauce, right? I mean, it's right there. It's all the secret sauce. I think Amelia typed it into you already at the in the text chat, Robbie. Not yet, William. Not yet. We're trying to figure out if we're going to shut it down. William's asking, is there a trial on power option plays? And we're still trying to figure out if we're going to shut it down and limit the number of people in there, because it is getting a little bit bigger than I really want it to be. So that's kind of where we are right now with it. I'm not 100% sure, which is why I have not put a trial on it. Right. So yeah, William says, I'm in for life, just telling people to get in. I know you are, William. I know you are. Okay. So Robbie's asked a couple different questions on Trade Navigator. Guys, we sent an email out over the weekend. Some numbers got inverted. You'll see another email come out, but I'm a big fan of rewarding individuals for being decisive, for taking action, right? So those of you that in the past that have purchased from Wealth Builders your Trade Navigator software, or have paid the $99 upgrade that we asked to upgrade to our version of the software, there is a series of filters, criteria, all that wonderful stuff, templates that are all coming out, right? And if we go down here and you start looking at, now, not all of this, just so you understand, right? Not everything with WBHQ is part of it, but most of this will be, right? All of these still need to be tested, right? So we've got 3 outside down, 3 outside up, bullish and bearish ADX patterns, bullish and bearish pinches on Bollinger Band, right? Big dollar moves with momentum, right? There's a bearish criteria. There's some gaps for stocks that have options and no options. There's bearish and bullish MACD. There's small dollar stocks with big momentum. Bearish trades for spreads, bullish trades for spreads, right? Bearish and bullish trending stocks. Some pinches on the Bollinger Bands. Big dollar moves with momentum. I mean, all of these guys, channeling no options, channeling with options, covered calls, right? So a lot of this stuff, Doji one day ago, a lot of this stuff is all, we're testing it right now, right? Yeah, Amelia typed into me, it's a minimum of 20 filters, exactly, right? Plus templates, screens that are already set up. I think there's 4 or 5 of them in there. The overbought, oversold indicator is not mine. It's somebody else's, right? That will be an additional indicator that I've told students for 8 months now I'm trying to get created, and it looks like Genesis on their end finally got it done. Yes, Judith, he is. He is. He's working on his stuff right now, Judith. Anyway, guys, the way it worked was this. I'm a big fan that right now I'm going to leave it at the $495 price, that if you don't have Trade Navigator, it's $495. If you have somebody else's version, whether it's a company I used to teach for, a company you came to me from, whether it's from Genesis themselves, it doesn't matter. For $99, you will upgrade to our version. All of these filters and criteria, when it's all said and done, moving averages are not part of it. I have a separate indicator set for moving averages. Yep, I will. That's probably a really good point, William. William said, can you go ahead and give us the link to it for the Trade Navigator? So if we go into the store, right, and we come down to the last one that says charts and indicators, right? And I'm going to leave it here, guys, because the charting program is here. The upgrade is here. This is our moving average scanner. You can read a little bit about that. But I'll drop this link in here. All right, so I just sent it off to you guys. Yeah, Judith, good question. We don't say that enough. The $99 is a one-time cost. It is not something that you pay yearly or monthly. You're just switching over to our version of the software. That's all it is. That's all it is. Then at least when I don't have, because we get the questions all the time, Rob, I don't see that on my Trade Navigator. Why not? Well, now we start digging in. What version do you have? Who's, and it's just time. This gets everybody on the same page. I know where everything is. It's an easy answer when Amelia's answering questions. So, Robert, Robert said, are the other filters just like the other filters and our plugins? They don't remove our other filters and criteria. No, Robert, they don't. But I would always tell you, no matter what, that you would do a backup before you ever do an install of any software program, right? This is no different. Genesis is very clear. You should always do a backup before you do an install. Our very good friend Ryan, Robert, you know him, lost everything during part of an upgrade. Now, I think the upgrade, I think it was his computer that caused it, but it was during the upgrade that his computer crashed. And he didn't just lose that, he lost a lot of what was on his computer. But he didn't do a backup first. If he had, the backup would have been saved and he could have just restored and it was all done. So this won't change him, Robert, because the name's on him, unless, Robert, you've named something already with the same name. And that's why all the filters in there are coming up as WBHQ, right? Doji one day ago, WBHQ gap down, WBHQ gap up, right? That's the reason for the naming, is you'll know where to find it and whose it is. Okay, so you were at the SIBO when he lost it, yeah. So Mark, you're asking the link for the indicator pack. If you're asking about all of the new indicators, well, let me ask you this, Mark. What version do you have? Do you have the Wealth Builders version? Do you have from Trade Navigator, from a company I used to teach for, a different company? Who do you have yours from? If you have it from me, will you either A, purchase Wealth Builders HQ Trade Navigator software, or you pay the $99 one-time upgrade? You will have it from me automatically. I will let you know. You'll get an email that says this is how you upgrade, and you'll run the upgrade. Okay. If you have something different, right? So you don't have Trade Navigator software then, Mark, is that correct? The options house has changed dramatically. Okay, so then Mark, the link that I put in the chat box there, that I just dropped in for everybody, on that link, when you come to this page, Mark, you would go to the WBHQ charting program. You're not upgrading, you're actually getting the program. Now, guys, the program is still $495, right? The email that some of you got said $695, but the form said $495. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to offer this at $495, right, as an early bird special, because it's not built, it's not done yet. Once it's done, I will send one more email out that says, guys, last chance, $495 if you're interested. After that, this goes to $995. The program will go to $995. Right? So if you're not using the Trade Navigator, I suggest you get it if you have an interest in it. If you don't and you like what you use, awesome. William said, typing card numbers in now. Okay. If you like what you use it. Guys, I don't care. But I will never be at a point that someone says, if I only knew. No. We dedicated an entire holiday sale, Halloween, to this. Right? If you're interested, take advantage. If you're not, that's okay. Not a problem at all. Yeah. So Ravi, I understand that we need to have examples and we need to have video. I don't have the filters yet. So how could I possibly do a video yet? Right? We will get something on it. I don't have an exact date of when I'll have a video done. I can tell you that if I got all of these filters created tomorrow, I guarantee you for the next 3 weeks, there is zero time for me to record any videos for it, but I will record them at some point. I will get them done. I am off for 6 or 7 weeks where I am not traveling at the end of this year, which is where I plan on doing a lot of these types of things in there. We'll get them done. We'll get them done. Absolutely, we'll get them done. It's just not going to be the day we release the program. That's why it's an early bird special. You're getting that discount because everything is not ready yet. Knock, trick or treat. There you go, William. Rich saying, what are the advantages of Trade Nav over TOS? Been considering it. Rich, I like the Trade Nav. One of the major things I love about it is it allows me to work offline. I don't need any internet connection to be looking at my charts. That's number one. Number two is the charting engine, to me, is a much crisper charting engine than what you'll ever find on Thinkorswim. The clarity, the picture, they have done an absolutely phenomenal job on making it as crisp as possible. Where Thinkorswim, I kind of get this almost blackish background. I mean, I like the TradeStation backgrounds much better than I do on the Thinkorswim. Right, it's one of my major disadvantages of TOS. Is just that. Okay, the abilities. Oops, I didn't want to do that. The abilities to look at filters in there, right? To be able to see the filters. What one did I minimize? Come on. There we go. Okay. The ability to set up filters, Rich, is easier for the average person than it is to set it up in Thinkorswim. So I'm also a big fan that when the market starts slowing down and my charts are dragging along, I keep my Trade Navigator open on my laptop all the time. It's on my desktop right now as well because we're here, right? I can't show you two computers, but I keep it on my laptop so it takes no resources and it takes no screen space away from my my trading systems. So there are a couple of the reasons that I like it as much as I do. Okay, so Mark, I don't use it in real time. I don't use it in real time. Okay, I use Trade Navigator as my end of day program. Right now, if you're using it in real time, then yes, you need an internet connection. But I would still personally use it on another computer so I don't slow down my trading system, because everything you open up is an absolute bear. Yep, there you go, Catherine. Catherine said, just what I need to know, some good filters to get back in the game. There you go. Yeah, so Rich, see, it does. Rich said, yep, the screens do look nicer. They definitely do. Rob, you're quite welcome. I mean, ask those questions. That's why I'm here. Yeah, and the tools they offer are great. I mean, there's a lot more drawing tools in here, Rich, in Trade Navigator. That's actually probably a phenomenal point that I don't stress enough. I mean, these are not all of the drawing tools that are available, right? If you go in here and look, which I'll take you just down to the toolbars, the drawing tools, right? This is the drawing tools bar, right? I can preset multiple dollar difference lines for different purposes. I can preset different text boxes. I can preset up to 4 different Fibonacci extensions, 4 different support and resistance on Fibonacci, right? So there's so many different tools available that are just not available anywhere else, right? You don't get these kind of numbers of tools available. So, so Jose, thank you for that. That was a great point. Okay, so if you have the old programs from where I used to teach, Jose, oh, I see Amelia answered. But if you have an old program, it's a $99 upgrade. I have 6 monitors on my trade setup, Robbie. Well, it's not a matter of if you should get TradeStation also. You know, there are benefits to TradeStation. There are benefits to Thinkorswim. When it comes to technical tools, Thinkorswim is better, no question. When it comes to commissions, kind of close with the way the new TradeStation works. I'm still grandfathered. Robert said, I use my TOS. I use TOS for my charts every day, from minutes to days, ticks, etc. But I always have my Trade Navigator open every day and draw my fibs and others on it. So there you go. From another, full-time trader, guys, that's how Robert's using his. Pete's saying, hey, Rob, do you have a suggestion on laptops and desktops for trading or a minimum processor configuration? Pete, if you can wait until next week, let me write it down. If you can wait till next week, I will get the link to my guy up on the website, and you can go there and look at what he has. And I looked at his stuff, and I've used this guy now for over 10 years for every trading system I buy. I look at his stuff, and his lower end is much higher than most stuff you buy in your normal computer store. So, but I will get you the information on it next week. Let's see. So Mark said TradeStation and Trade Navigator are the same program. No. So Mark, Trade Navigator is an end of day software. TradeStation is a trading platform. So I actually trade off of TradeStation. But I manage what I'm doing as far as my charts on Trade Navigator for my end of day. Yeah, custom built computers are the way to go, William said. Exactly, they are, William. And this guy only does trading systems. If you own a mall and you've got 50 monitors and an array with one big picture on it, he does those types of systems. That's all this company does. High quality, and they're very big in the trading industry. Yes, Robert. Yep. Trade Navigator and the program from the other company are the similar program. Absolutely. It just requires the $99 upgrade for someone. All right. So, wow, we went late today. Holy mackerel. Okay. So, guys, I dropped a link in there for the Trade Navigator stuff, but that's the explanation on the Halloween special, right? So, will it go to $6.95? Yes. We'll probably offer it for a week after we offer it at the $4.95, releasing it as a fully functional release program. Here's everything. And then it'll go to $9.95. All right. So you still have the opportunity to get it at the $4.95 now. So excellent. With that being said, it looks like we're done. So you guys have a great trading day. God bless. Be careful. Watch the S&P. Keep your eye on what's going on. Don't trust the moves. Look, guys, we came right down to that freaking line and hit. To like the penny, right? Pretty darn close. The low was 66.46. I was at 66.08. We got pretty close there. Less than 30 cents. 28-cent difference. So there you have it. Have a great day. I know 99 is not a fib number, Robert. I get it. But for now, we're going to leave it at 99 because that price for the upgrade will go to 295. So when it goes to $9.95, the upgrade will be $2.95. So, all right, have a great day, folks. God bless. I will see many of you tonight, E-mini Think Tank, and then tomorrow in Trading You. Take care, folks. See y'all soon.